Welcome to Monster Men.
Hello, Jason Voorhees, wherever you are. Guess what we're doing today, Jack?
Hellraiser?
Exactly. You will know pain. Or my favorite, which I cannot believe we're 197,000 episodes in. We've never just talked just about Friday the 13th.
We've talked about it a lot in other shows, but never dedicated one.
Just Friday the 13th. He's on my arm. Which I have to get him colored in. I keep meaning to do that. I stole my wife's shirt that I bought for her at Scares the Care. It's nice and neon.
I just wore my most unlucky t-shirt.
The Lutsky shirt is amazing. If you're watching this show, go to Chad Lutsky's website and get yourself a Lutsky shirt. There is nothing better than than wearing a Lutsky shirt with that Black Crows looking mother effer on it. We love you, Chad, and we love your shirt. So yeah, we are drinking Miller High Life. We are at the bar. This is Jack and I when we first started working together, just jawing about Friday the 13th.
Let's talk about Friday the 13th.
Great. I will say, I know you're a Freddy guy.
I'm going to qualify that.
I'm going to learn something new after 20 years. But this is my favorite from start to finish.
I am kind of tired of people who have to categorize which franchise they like the most.
That's how you define people. Signs everywhere.
I like Friday the 13th. I like Freddy movies. I don't like some of these. I don't like some of the Freddys. So, let's just put it this way. I love this franchise. And if I had to pick one franchise out of Nightmare, Hellraiser, Texas Chainsaw, Halloween, and this... Child's Play, start to finish, this is probably the best. Every single movie that has the most watchable movies out of, and less lemons than the others. It doesn't have...
You're blowing my mind.
It doesn't have the highs that the other ones have. But it has to consider... Because it sets a low bar...
That's true. And like Halloween sets a high bar.
Yeah, Halloween.
None of them have even been able to come close to.
Nightmare on Elm Street came close.
Yeah, the first one's great.
First Halloween and first Nightmare on Elm Street are two legendary horror movies. Changed the game.
Yeah.
Then sequels, we could talk about another time. Very uneven.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th came in as like discount Halloween.
Well, that was the idea. It was... Get somebody to make a movie just like this Halloween movie.
But they weren't bogged down with the Michael Myers mythology. They weren't pinned down with Haddonfield and Laurie Strode.
Well, that was all stuff that was so made up to just justify sequels. This was just like, who cares?
Who cares? And then at one point they're just like, he's a zombie now.
Well, because they Frankensteined him in part 6, which was... a stroke of genius.
Yes, because you have to keep explaining. At least with Freddy, it's easy enough. It's like Christopher Lee Dracula movies. The beginning of the next one, somehow they bring him back. Okay, we wanted him back. So, somebody dripped blood on his ashes. Okay,
that'll do it.
That Freddy. Okay, fine.
I would love if my ashes could just regenerate from some blood and bring me back.
A dog
to
pees
this nonsense
on Freddy's ashes. Flame peas.
Oh, the flame pea. I've done flame pea. That's called venereal disease.
So with Friday the 13th, it was like just pulpy the whole time.
Yeah. It got a little more ridiculous.
It gets more ridiculous,
but that's fine.
The bar though, you're okay with it. Where it's Halloween, it's almost like you expect once it starts to mirror Friday the 13th. Instead of Friday the 13th mirroring it, you're like, oh, the student has become a master.
I will say, this is why I don't think you're going to get this again. Because now, with the advent of streaming, on demand, everybody's home, the pandemic, you're never going to get these again because these are shared experience movies. My favorite times in life are seeing these movies in the theater and the mayhem absolute mayhem that would ensue. Cherry bombs going off, girls making out on your lap, screaming. I mean, just fun stuff.
Friday the 13th in 3D.
Huh.
Everybody was just howling.
Oh, it was bananas.
And when we get to part 4, the big finale, people were losing their minds. It was like Luke blowing up the Death Star.
Yes. Corey Feldman. Die! Loved it. By the way, part 4, I want to ask you, out of all the movies, the women were very important to this. Mm-hmm. By the way, Amy Steele from part 2 will be at Chiller Theater in April or May, whenever they're doing it this year. I'm there because I collect autographs from the women of Friday the 13th movies. So that's my thing. So I hope you'll be there with me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you'll be there. Who's your favorite?
Woman?
It doesn't have to be even a final girl. It could be just a victim. Like, who's your favorite?
Gosh. The couple from Jason in his Space, Jason X, are smoke shows.
Oh, the girls in the simulation?
No, the main girl.
Oh, okay, yes.
And the robot chick.
The robot chick's pretty amazing. Or she's a cyborg.
The chick who drives like the Corvette or the Trans Am in part 6.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke show.
My favorite is Samantha Lane, played by. I even had this Judy Aronson. She's in part 4, The New Beginning. She's a girl that gets killed in the raft.
Okay.
Who almost got hypothermia because it was freezing when they were shooting that scene and everything.
Yes.
Yes. Literally turning blue doing that scene. Hands down my favorite. So if you're out there and you just call me and I'll pay a lot of money for a headshot just to meet you. She was my favorite, by far. She was like my... Oh, what's your face from Lost Boys?
Oh, wow.
I named my friggin' daughter after her. Oh, this is so sad when we've been drinking and can't remember names.
I'm never good with names anyway.
Hold on. Vamp for a second. I gotta find this out. Oh, Jamie Gertz. Jesus Christ. Literally named my child after Star from the Lost Boys. And when she met the Lost Boys, it was one of the funnest days of my life.
She was on a sitcom with the dude who played Fred Flintstone.
Yes. And the Full Monty. That show was so dumb. But I watched it because it had Jamie Gertz. This girl kind of looks... She's Gertzy. She's Gertzy.
A little Gertz thing
a little
going
Gertzy.
there.
All right, question. Did you see the first one after on home video or in the theater? Or in a drive-in?
I think I saw the first 2 on cable. And then I think the first one I saw in the theater was probably part 3.
3D. I saw the first 2. Well, I saw them all in the theater. I should say that. Even up to Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, I saw them all in the theater. Because we had the theater right down the block here. The first one came out, I think I was 11. And we all went en masse. Like, all the kids. Hey, we're finished playing wiffle ball. Want to go to the Kent movie theater? And then we went down there and they're like, are you 18? Yeah, get in. Whatever. And we had a good time. That was a theater that was big on smoke bombs and M80s.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
Which does not happen anymore. I love going to the Alamo because you can't even make a sound. I hold farts in for 2 hours because I'm afraid to get thrown out.
But I'll say this. We saw part 1 and 2 multiple times on cable.
Yeah.
You know, so that we were like just in a frenzy. And so then when 3 hit the Avon Theater where I go,
right,
we were just like, yes.
Which is still there.
And that was pandemonium. I remember my friends just yelling, Jackie, baby! And I high-five them over people. And
yeah, you can't imagine, like, the excitement. It was like going to a horror convention like we go now, without the alcohol. That's because we're all older and we can drink. But just that thrill of, like, I haven't seen you since last year. And, dude, we got another Friday.
Dream Warrior, same thing. Freddy shows up on the screen and everybody, like, it was like, you know, the starting lineup of the All-Star game. Yes!
Yeah. And that was just, even those horrible Halloween sequels, it was exciting because everyone was getting together and just having fun with it. And you'd always have to go back again. Maybe you'd go to a matinee, so I'd go, all right, I did not understand anything that went on because I couldn't hear anything. But you didn't care. It was cheap. It was also cheap.
I saw most of this stuff. I saw a bunch of these in the theater, but rented these a million times. And that's what I'm talking about with the franchises.
Right.
Friday the 13th, we'd always get like a regular movie and then a horror movie. So there were just times where like, oh, let's get part 4. You know, watch that one again. Or
what's your favorite one?
So recently I watched 4, and I was like, this might be my favorite one because of the big ending, and that's the one with Crispin Glover, right? And the dancing, and I'm like, this movie's just
and the twins
something. But then I watched 6, and it all came back to me. I'm like, oh no, 6 is my favorite one.
So we are in lockstep. 6 is by far my favorite one. I agree. I don't say I agree. I will say 4 is better. It's a better movie. But 6 to me, like I saw this at the Galleria Mall in White Plains, and they oversold the theater. And when I went there, it was like standing room only. But I got into a seat. But then there were tons of people still streaming, and I'll never forget this pair of girls wanted a seat. We said you can sit on our lap. Within 5 minutes, we were making out for the whole movie. We would like come up for air when they were screaming and popcorn being thrown.
That never happened to me.
And I will never forget, like when that movie was over, we said goodbye to the girls. They walked out, and me and my friend just went back to our seat. And at that time, they didn't care. If you leave, you leave. If you don't, you don't. And we watched it again so I could see what happened. And I love the whole Frankenstein aspect of that movie, reviving him with electricity.
Arnold Horshack.
On a horse. Mr. Carter! Just every part of that movie.
Well, here's the thing. It's like Alien and Aliens, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Dream Warriors to me was like, wow, great first one. And then second one, wait, this one's like kind of funny. And it's got like, it takes the special effects in another place. So it's like 2 companion pieces. This was like, you could take 1 through 4. And if you never had anything again, complete story now.
Yeah.
Boom. We'll talk about 5 later.
I've grown to like 5.
F5.
I used to say that. I've watched it enough now where I kind of like it.
F5. F5.
F for me, if I'm going to F a Jason movie, it's Jason Takes Manhattan. That's my least favorite.
That's also at the bottom.
I even like Jason Goes to Hell more than that.
Dude, I love Jason Goes to Hell.
Such a weird.
We got to get into that one.
Let's make him a worm.
Because that's my guilty pleasure. 6 is where suddenly it starts getting funny.
Yes.
So not only do they go supernatural, but it's almost like the Dream Warriors of the Friday the 13th. You're like, wait,
absolutely.
Now it's supernatural. It's a little over the top, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, and it is hilarious.
And so I was like, yeah, you know what? I love the first 3. 4 is tremendous. 6 is the King Daddy.
I agree. 6. Now the first one. Spoiler alert: this movie's over 40 years old. Jason's not even in it until they threw that in at the last minute. They were like, "Can you jump out of the lake or whatever?" It made no sense. Why was he so young?
We always took it as a dream. It was a dream.
Right. But what about the boy? So that makes no sense whatsoever.
It's purely movie theater executives going, you need one more scare.
Right. Betsy Palmer was great in that movie. Who did not want to do it. I met her at a horror convention in Minneapolis,
Jesus.
All places, and had a little conversation with her. I did not get her autograph, which kills me to this day. But we just talked. Only 100 people came. There was nobody there. And she was just telling me how much she didn't want to do it. And she cannot believe anyone even gives a shit about this movie. It's an awesome movie. Kevin Bacon's in it. There were not a lot of stars that come out of Friday the 13th movies. It's a lot of one and dones.
No, Crispin Glover, him.
kid from Last American Virgin.
Yes,
in part 4.
That was the one when I rewatched it recently. I was like, oh, Gary's in this.
Yeah. But other than that, there's really not a lot of star
Corey
power.
Feldman was already something before he got into that.
Right. So I thought the first one was very creepy. I love the twist that it's the mom. Then you go to the second movie, and you get Sackhead Jason, which is months after the first. Does that make you think that she wasn't killing them alone? Like, no one ever talks about that. I'm like, if you follow the timeline, Sackhead Jason was probably helping her because she was a little old lady.
But did she know that Jason was alive then? Because she's taking revenge for his death. But he's still
I
around.
think he was...
Or was it like she walked in, did something, and then right when she walks out, Jason walks in? You're like, wait, you guys just missed each other. And it's like, Bruce Wayne and Batman are never in the same room at the same time.
It's weird. It's hard to reconcile. But to me, in my mind, I always think he was helping her because there were some physical feats in the first one that are not possible for Betsy Palmer.
Oh, well, let's get to part 6 or 7 with the psychic girl.
Oh.
Jason can teleport in that movie.
Yeah. Well, when you're battling Carrie,
yeah,
you got to do.
He's friggin' Nightcrawler. I watched this the other day, and I'm like, how did he get there?
That's my wife's favorite one. I don't. It's on the cusp of like middling to least favorite. It's so dumb.
That might be the last one I saw in the theater.
Oh. So many of the theater, almost every theater I saw a Jason movie in is gone. I don't think any of them
I did not
exist
see
anymore.
Goes to Manhattan in the theater. I did see Jason Goes to Hell in the theater.
Jason X, I remember my wife and I went to a matinee at the, Central Avenue Cinemas, which is now a Party City.
Nice. I didn't see that in the theater. I saw Freddy vs. Jason at the theater.
Yeah, we saw that at Movieland. It's so bizarre how I can remember almost every theater that I saw those movies in. But I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday.
But what were we talking about?
I don't know. Well,
part 6.
Well, I was going kind of. I was like kind of.
Okay, but you went back to 1. You went back to 1.
I went back to 1 with, and I saw that movie. Jason Quap. We saw that movie together.
Jay Quap. That's right.
Jay Quap was a fun night.
Big Jason guy.
Huge Jason. A huge Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
He's Michael Myers for sure.
So yeah, part 2. Meet Jason, Sackhead. I think they do a good job of retconning it.
I like 2 better than 1.
Probably.
Amy Steele's great. I like all the campers in it. It's a lot of murder.
Jason with the sack is pretty scary.
Yeah. I heard that there was a reason why they took the sack off him. Oh, the Elephant Man had come out around the same time. We're like, we just made him look like the Elephant Man, so now we got to find something else. So in comes 3D. Good 3D.
It's great watching it now not in 3D. And people are like, why is he just taking that?
Why is he doing that yo-yo down in my face right there? 3D is a lot of fun. The nerdy kid who gives us the mask because he likes to scare people because he's insecure or whatever. That's a really fun movie. And some good-looking girls.
So much fun seeing it in the theater. That movie will always be dear to me because the time we had in the theater.
I think it's maybe not in this. It's not in this edition. I have. So this is like the 8 movies. This is the first 8 movies collection you can get on Blu-ray. I have a Blu-ray of 3D with the glasses, and you can watch it in 3D at home. And it gives you the same headache that you used to get watching it in the movie theater, which is why I won't do it anymore.
And 3 was at the point now where you're getting to, I'm just here to watch people get killed by Jason.
I want to see pretty girls with crimped hair.
Yeah, like...
I want to see dopey dudes. I want to see... that was what the Cheech and Chong husband and wife... Remember they were like tagging along with these teenagers or 20-somethings? I'm like, why are they with them? But whatever.
And the thing that Friday the 13th versus, say, Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street, especially Nightmare on Elm Street, you have to fit in the whole dream mythology into it. So I never, except for Dream Warriors, I never liked any of the characters.
Right.
But you have to spend more time with them to explain what's going on. Whereas in a Friday the 13th, I don't like any of these characters either. But you just have to put them in a room, have them have sex so they can get killed. There's less exposition needed.
Freddy's very serious. It's heavy stuff. It's like child molester, parents murdered him. He's the bastard son of 100 maniacs.
Awesome.
There's so much going on there. Jason's just drowned kid, crazy mom, and somehow unkillable. Who knows? Who cares? Just give me more people for the meat grinder. That's what I want to see. And pretty girls.
But then you get to 4, and everybody's now talking about he's the Terminator. How could he keep getting up?
Right.
Why doesn't he? So they say, screw it. Somebody's going to finally do what we're all screaming at the screen to do.
Mm-hmm.
You knock him down, you take the machete, and you chop him up into little bits.
Man, take a child to do it.
And the theater went ballistic.
Oh my God, the screaming that was going on and the cheering.
It was like when the kid fights back against the clown in Poltergeist. You're like, yes! Yes!
But see, this is a turning point too, because in part 4, I remember we were cheering for Corey Feldman to finally kill him. By the time you get to 6, you're cheering for Jason to kill people. Like, he all of a sudden became the good guy. He wasn't existing in part 5. So, I know you don't like it.
We'll talk about it in a minute.
Just watch it again. So, yeah, he turned from the bad guy to the kind of like, still the bad guy, but the guy you root for once you come from 6 on.
Now that he's like a zombie, we'll get to that.
He was not a zombie in 4, though. Just a deformed guy who happened to come across a weird kid with a mask fetish.
Mask fetish, yeah.
And his good-looking sister.
And Gary from Last American Virgin who likes to watch black and white porno movies.
Oh, it was so weird. And Crispin Glover.
Doing the dance.
Crispin Glover's dancing is amazing. You got the twins in that movie. You've got my favorite girl in that movie. Like, I think that movie's, like I said, solid. Solid as hell.
So much fun.
The best of them all.
So, go back to 4.
Wait, go back to the cooler. I need another beer.
So,
Near me. Oh, you want to give me that? I have my Friday the 13th mug in there. My glass. My cup. Right there. No shortage of Friday the 13th stuff.
4 happens. 5 comes out. Go to the theater. What are they going to do now?
How we're bringing them back? A new beginning?
Watch the movie. It's some dude pretending to be Jason. Me and my friends were so pissed off that we were like, F this movie. I think I saw it maybe one time on cable. So I've seen that movie twice maybe.
Oh!
So pissed off at it.
I totally get it. We were not happy at the time. I'm like, the sheriff did it? What? And his mask miraculously came off when he fell on those spikes or whatever, when he got thrown out of the barn. If you watch it now, it still retains the essence of what you like in those movies.
I'll watch it again, but I'm just telling you, I was like physically angry at that movie when I...
Watch it now for the crazy woman and her son, the ones on the little motorcycle.
I don't even remember.
Watch it for them. They are amazeballs. They are so funny. And the kid with the chocolate bars who gets axed by the other kid.
I don't remember.
Oh, God almighty. That's the whole reason.
So all of these franchises,
yes,
there are a lot of them where I only saw it once, maybe twice. Like those Halloween ones.
Right.
I saw it once and I was like, this is stupid. I have nothing to do with it.
Throw it away.
Now I'm rewatching them because we do so many damn horror podcasts. I'm like, I need to go back and rewatch this. And some I'm watching with nostalgia eyes and I enjoy it now. I'm like, I could never enjoy this movie then, but I can now.
Right.
Or I'm like, God, this did not age well. So
I think 5 ages well.
So
I'm going to tell you.
I'll tell you the one that aged well when we get down the road.
All right. So yeah, 5 is what it is. I don't know what they were thinking, but whatever. You don't get real Jason.
They took a swing.
Jason. They took a swing. This guy had incredible powers for an angry sheriff because the fat kid with the chocolate bars, who the other orphan murders, that was his father. And that's why he started killing them. That's the whole thing. Oh, spoiler alert. Movie came out in 1985. So I think we're past spoilers at that point. So yeah, then we get to 6. And we're like, all right, well, we need Jason back. This is where the money is. This director knocked it out of the park.
This is classic Hammer horror. Tommy Jarvis has grown up.
And by the way, this is the 3rd Tommy Jarvis movie.
That's right, because he's in the...
He's in 5 too.
It's the same guy?
No. We don't need continuity.
So we now have Return of the Living Dead guy as grown-up Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah.
Him and Arnold Horshack, for some reason, decided they need to dig up Jason.
For
some unknown reason, impale him with a fence spike.
During a lightning storm.
He gets hit by lightning. Jason is reanimated.
Remember when that eye opens? Ding! Oh, and the
now
music.
He's back. And again, fine. You got to bring him back. Lightning might as well.
We cheered. I think I had a boner when that happened. We went bananas when he came back out of that grave.
And before Drew Barrymore was killed at the beginning of Scream, Horshack is killed at the beginning of this movie. I thought he was going to be in it the whole time.
And true to life, God killed him too. Nobody likes Horshack. I don't understand.
Oh.
Mr. Carter!
So then you have just crazy, funny, the camper scene.
Everything. There's nothing in this movie I don't like. It's one of my favorite horror movies. Complete from... I love this movie.
And so I remember being so happy with the course correction.
Yes. Well, yeah. Give us Jason back.
Yeah.
And Kane Hodder has not even entered the scene yet. He doesn't come here till Psychic
But he
Barbie.
gets all the credit for Jason.
I know.
And he's like in some of the worst ones.
He's in most of the worst ones, to tell you the truth. I mean, because you didn't have Jason in the first, right? You had Jason in 2 and 3 and 4, not 5, 6, someone else. It's like someone else. Let's get another big person. And then Kane Hodder comes in part 7.
Part 7. Which I watched recently. New Blood? Is that the...
No. That is... Let's see. That's 1986. Oh, yeah. New Blood. I'm sorry. You're correct.
So this is...
With Laura Park Lincoln. I always loved her name.
The end of part 6. Tommy Jarvis gets Jason out on the lake, wraps him in a chain attached to a boulder, and Jason is just now hibernating, trapped.
And I do believe there's a replica of Jason in that lake right now that some artists put in there.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
Fast forward, I don't know how far in the future it is. That same house now, a girl and her parents, when they're little, they're in the house. The girl's psychic.
With the psychiatrist. That dopey psychiatrist.
First we see the girl kill her father accidentally with her psychic powers that are out of control, like Firestarter and Carrie.
Sequel's coming for Firestarter. Not sequel, the remake.
Reboot.
Whatever.
Then she comes back as an adult with her psychiatrist and her mother. And her psychic powers release Jason.
Yes. Which would be great if that could actually happen.
And now I remember seeing this in the theater, and I think I liked it better when I was younger, because I was just like, what? I mean, I didn't love it, but I was like, what? Now there's a psychic girl?
And that's when I was younger, I didn't think of her as Carrie. Like, now I just think Carrie. It's Jason. I didn't think of that at the time. I was like, this is so cool.
No, and you were like, all right, so they made him a zombie. Now this is going to be the new Tommy Jarvis. He's going to have to fight like the X-Men. Jean Grey.
That would have been great. Jason versus the X-Men? I'd finally like an X-Men movie.
This movie does not age well whatsoever. The TV flying across the room on a string.
If we went downstairs, my wife would contradict you. She loves this movie to no end, and I don't get it.
Now, at the end of this movie, spoilers for all of these movies. This girl's psychic powers summon her dead father from the lake.
Yes.
He comes up through the
dock,
grabs Jason, and pulls him back down. Very similar to the Freddy versus Jason. Jason Goes to Hell. First, he gets pulled down by those tentacle things.
Yes.
And then Freddy pulls his mask down. This is Jason getting pulled down. We don't know where he goes, but he's gone. They ride off in the ambulance. He's gone. Taking care of him.
Done.
Done.
Satisfying movie.
No jump at the end.
No, had a good time with it. I remember in the theater we loved it. I did like it. I think until my wife liked it more. Then I have to be contrarian. So
Now we get to Jason Goes to Manhattan, right?
Yes.
I don't even remember how this starts.
Oh, they're on a boat. First of all,
How does he come back?
he's just around. I think this is the one I watched the least. I don't like this one very much at all.
I don't either. This is
I'm
right
just like,
after
there's
5.
no way from where they were to get to Manhattan by boat. It's just dumb. And he's not in Manhattan very long.
Right.
I remember it's got a kid playing guitar in the ship.
I remember so little about this movie.
Yeah, it's.
I can remember watching going, why is this on a boat?
Yeah, no, it's not good at all. I'd rather Muppets take Manhattan than Jason takes Manhattan. And this is a direct, spoof on that. I mean, Jason's cool. Once he gets... I wish he was in Manhattan, for the whole movie.
Would have been awesome.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe they couldn't get the money to film around New York City. I have no idea. But if you put him through Manhattan, this movie would have killed it in some way.
But no.
Not with this...
False advertising.
Not with this cargo ship of fools.
Or when he gets to Manhattan, there's nothing really spectacular about once he gets there.
When he gets in an alleyway, in a sewer.
Let's see him at,
Times Square?
Times Square.
By the way, I'm writing the sequel to Rat New Yorkist called Manrattan. I am writing a scene in Times Square right now with rats.
Beautiful. And
using the dirty water, hot water from hot dog carts to kill rats.
And the guy dressed like Elmo trying to get a picture with him.
That is in there, by the way. Not Elmo, but I had Spider-Man and a couple of the naked cowboys. But that's how you have fun with the idea, right? You don't have to shoot in Manhattan. Mostly they shoot in Vancouver back in the day.
It's like that Army of the Dead movie. The beginning of that movie, it's all in Vegas. Then they get to Vegas and suddenly they're inside the whole time. And you're like, this could be anywhere. This could be Atlantic City. This could be...
Could be this freaking attic.
How about being in front of Bally's, in front of the
Bellagio?
There's so many iconic things you could be. Instead they're like, nope, how about a dark hallway that could be anywhere?
I remember that movie. I wanted to see them at the Bellagio, the fountains, and turn the fountains on and shoot zombies up in the air.
But also, they were all dried out zombies. How great would it be if somebody turned on the Bellagio things and that reanimated all the zombies?
Again, there was so much fun you could have with that. And I think Friday the 13th Part 8 is in that. F that movie. Now, the next one, Jason Goes to Hell, a lot of people say F that movie.
A lot of people hate this movie.
Because, again, it's not Jason.
It's not Jason. But they took a huge swing with this one.
It's the movie The Hidden.
Yes.
It's The Hidden with the worm parasite.
So I remember Morgan and I saw this together. And we're just like... As soon as the guy starts eating the heart, we're looking at each other like, what is going on? Because they blow up Jason's body, and you're like...
Yeah, he's done.
Okay, that's interesting. Where are they going?
Yeah.
And then suddenly he becomes Jason, and then he spits out this worm, goes into somebody else, just like The Hidden.
Yep.
And then it's a body-jumping movie with a dude who's supposedly going to be the bounty hunter chasing Jason, who kind of never amounts to anything.
Yep. I think he's a MacGuffin.
But when you watch it now, it's got that... I think it ages better because it's got that schlocky horror charm
it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Manhattan, not fun. This, if you can get over the fact you're not getting your Jason fix 24/7, it's actually a fun movie.
I think it's because New Line got the rights, so they put in some Evil Dead stuff. The Necronomicon's in there, and then there's the Jason,
which is
Freddy
cool.
stuff.
I kind of like that crossover.
Yeah, because we're like, hey, look!
Imagine if they put Bruce Campbell in this movie, even for 2 minutes.
This would have been like the biggest movie ever.
Taking it to a whole other level. But it's good enough. Like, again, it's the third movie without Jason in it. But it's really good.
Go just for the guy eating Jason's heart in the autopsy.
That's what I'm feeding him later.
Black viscous fluid.
Viscous. A lot of ichor pouring out of that.
And then, of course, Freddy's hand comes up at the end and grabs Jason's mask, pulls it down, and then for 10 years we get, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? But it doesn't happen quite yet because...
No. We got Jason X in 2001, which my wife and I were so thrilled to dump our kids off somewhere. Who were babies at the time. We go, we're going to the movies. We're going to see a Jason movie. I think we're the only two people in the theater. And we loved it. That one was not a shared experience because nobody was there. I thought it was cool, Jason going to space.
They do a good job with that because it's just funny enough and just serious enough. If they just made it a flat-out comedy or took it too seriously, it would have really sucked. But it just winked enough at the camera.
Yeah. It rides the line very well. It has the great kill, the woman he puts her head in the nitrous
dry ice or whatever,
and smashes her skull. Awesome. The
sleeping bag.
The sleeping bag with the thing.
Part 7. The best thing about that is the first sleeping bag kill,
which comes back again in the remake. Which we'll talk about that. But yeah, I thought that Jason, when he was redone, and
Super Jason,
he was killer, man. That's a scary ass Jason.
Nanobot Jason.
And the last time we see Kane Hodder as Jason.
That's right.
Yeah, because he did not get to do Freddy versus Jason,
which is ridiculous.
There's a lot of butthurt feelings about that. But personally, I don't care who's behind the mask. Nobody seemed to be any better.
The thing was, though, the guy they got to play Jason is a little too small.
Yeah. Like the guy who played Michael Myers in the Rob Zombie Halloween, would fill this attic.
Tyler Mane.
I sat next to him at a bar. I could not get over the size of that dude.
He was a wrestler.
Is he a wrestler?
He was Sabretooth in the...
Oh, well, that makes sense, because he did not look like a human being. He was enormous. Kane Hodder's not that big. But Jason X, I think, is a shit ton of fun. It's got... who's the director that's in that movie? It's not... the guy who does the body horror.
Cronenberg?
Cronenberg's in that movie.
Is he?
Yes, he's one of the... He's a mad scientist or whatever in that movie. So... He chews the scenery when he's in there. Again, here's the key. Good-looking girls. You got to have some good-looking girls in these movies.
Many good-looking girls in this one.
This may be sexist, but I don't give a shit. It's Friday the 13th. There's a formula to these movies. And it's got to be some blood and good kills. That has it. Then we get, 10 years after Jason Goes to Hell, we finally get Freddy versus Jason.
I saw this in the theater.
Me too. With Kelly Rowland from, what the fuck?
Look at, who else is it?
Monica Keena, who was flat out gorgeous in that movie.
Oh, yeah. She was in Entourage for a while.
Entourage!
Yeah, she's a smoke show. American Mary.
Oh, Catherine Isabel. Yeah. Jason Ritter. I mean, it's got a good cast in it. This movie I'm not too crazy about. Until they fight.
Yes.
Like, I don't care about anything in this movie until the two of them fight, and then it's fun.
There's a few other moments in it. When Freddy is messing with Jason in Jason's dream. Mm-hmm. Oh, you little baby. That's awesome.
Right.
The rave in the cornfield's pretty fun.
But this is a movie where I just wanted everyone to shut up and get out of the way.
And I say this every time we talk about this. The way that the kids figure out what's going on, they're just... maybe Freddy's using Jason to bring back fear, but what?
How did you come
How
up
would you
with
possibly know that?
You little geniuses, you.
But yeah, it's a mediocre movie until they fight. Then you're like... It's like a kid. You're watching Kong vs. Godzilla on the 4:30 movie, and you're like... oh, they're fighting.
Whoa, when they are like the tubes of oxygen and just shooting them as missiles and stuff, and coming out of the water and fires on the dock. I mean, so much fun. Like that last 20 minutes makes up for the interminable stupidity to get there. Although Kelly Rowland,
Her death, and the things that she says to him, that I wonder, you cannot say. She calls him the F word, and she pays the price for it. Somebody else gets closed in a bed.
In the bed, yeah. That was good. That was like one of the early parts of it.
Freddy's talking to the girls. He is really, really mean. There's a lot like comedian Freddy. Like this was more like part 1 Freddy in the kills.
Yeah, he was out of the Catskills. He left the Nebulae behind.
You bitch.
Exactly. He was going to be a little raw or a little meaner. So, again, it's a fun movie. It takes a while to get to really pick up, but...
I'm happy it happened, because we need more stuff like that.
Michael Myers. Anything's better than the stupid things they're doing. Ash, well, he's getting a little long in the tooth for that. And then we have the Friday the 13th reboot.
Oh, here's where some of my favorite girls are, too.
By the way, the best-looking women ever in a horror movie are in this movie. And the most extensive sex scene, maybe in horror, like legitimate horror movie history. I forget who the name of that girl is, but she was quite talented.
This movie has its pros and its cons.
It's got that guy from Supernatural.
That's right, Jason-Palooza.
Yeah, and it's got Daniel Panabaker.
And this girl was like on the...
Amanda Rigetti? Was that Dave Rigetti's daughter?
Mentalist. She was on The Mentalist.
I'm on many Mentalists.
So what I thought this was a decent remake. I did not like the stuff where Jason has kidnapped a girl and is keeping her.
No.
That really dragged the whole thing down.
And was Jason a pot farmer?
No,
it felt like he was.
He killed pot farmers.
Oh, I did not like his underground lair.
Yeah.
That seemed so out of line for what Jason is. It takes a while also for this movie to get going, but the sex is really incredible. The sex scene's incredible in this movie.
What's the girl's name? Juliana Gill.
Yeah. Fantastic. Should get more roles.
Willa Ford, she was a singer.
Willa Ford, yeah. Willa Ford, the singer. She's in it too. America Olivo. I like that name. Again, it's a group of 20-somethings that are total ass-hards. That, you know, I can't wait to see them die. But I did not like the whole Jason storyline in that at all. It just didn't feel like a Friday the 13th movie. You got the sleeping bag kill.
Yeah.
But that had been done already. Twice.
Yes. It's okay. It's not as good as like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre had a good remake.
Yes. This did not.
This was okay. It was better than the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
And this was years out. I gotta say, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, since the year 2000, has had the best set of movies. Well, all we've had is this. Yeah. Right? We had Jason X in this. TCM, we had Jessica Biel. We had the other girl.
I don't think that's a good
2006.
movie.
I think that's a good movie. The Alexandra Daddario.
Do your thing, cuz.
The Alexandra Daddario one.
That one, I'm saying, that's not a good movie.
No, I think that's good.
And the beginning one, Leatherface, terrible.
I don't like Leatherface. Don't like that. And I enjoyed this last one that just came out.
That's all right.
But the lawsuits, I think, have been settled for Friday the 13th. I think Victor Miller won. I was in an anthology with him, and I remember reading reviews. Just nobody cared about the stories. They were just annihilating him for his politics. I'm like, whatever. I was so excited. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm in an anthology with Victor Miller, so I'm happy. But I'm hoping now we can actually... There's great fan fiction movies, but I'm hoping we can get an actual Jason movie together.
Do you want it to be a complete reboot, or related to...
Get him back in camp.
So Zombie Jason
lives. Yeah. Like somewhere between Manhattan, going to hell, and going to space. Somewhere in there, give me something. I don't want him. I don't know. I don't want him on Mars. Although that could be interesting if he did it. I don't want to reboot. Let's not restart this thing. We already know. We've got 13 movies. So we don't need to restart the thing. But just give me... I want him back in the camp.
I don't know. Rebooting may be the...
Oh, it's so boring. I don't want it. Don't tell me the story again.
That's true. I don't want an origin story.
Right. We already know his origin. By the way, the first one was shot in Blairstown, New Jersey, which is right not far before you get to the Delaware Water Gap in Pennsylvania. I've been there twice, and both times the freaking museum was closed. Even the last time I checked, they said it was open.
I saw a thing for tours.
You can do, yes, there's tours of the campground. It's like $100. I think it's $100 well spent.
We should do it. We should do it.
I agree, because they're doing spring and they're going to do fall tours. I think it's going to be worth it. But I actually want to go to the museum. I walked around the town. The town looks pretty much the same during the first movie. But yeah, I want to go there. That's like dream come true time. And sometimes they do events with some of the actors and stuff.
I was in that town and didn't know it till I got there.
Really?
I went to Blair Academy for work.
Get out of here.
And the guy goes, "Did you know that Friday the 13th was filmed here?" I was like, "What?"
Is that the academy where the water's running right there?
When you go in past the diner, just like a mile down the road, up on a hill.
Right. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So he goes, "You remember that diner?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "That was in the movie." I'm like, "Oh my God!" So when I left, I saw it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we're gonna go. And we'll bring the camera.
So I'll watch part 5 again for you.
I would say watch part 5 again. I'm not going to make you watch it tonight. We got other things to do.
Yeah.
We have other shitty movies to watch. No, Hellbender. That won't be shitty at all.
Well, like I said, start to finish, it's like Chinese food.
Oh,
You get it?
like chicken lo mein.
Even bad Chinese food, you're like, it'll do.
Yeah, until later.
Yeah.
Bad Chinese food can hurt you more than bad Mexican food.
Part 5 is like bad Chinese food.
Why is all Chinese food so heavy? Like when you get the bag, why is it so heavy?
Rice.
Good Lord. I make rice here. It's not that heavy.
Oil-soaked broccoli.
Yeah, really. I don't understand. But yeah, Friday the 13th. What's your favorite? Tell us.
What's your favorite?
What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite kill? Who's your favorite girl? Who's your favorite guy?
What's your favorite kill? There's a lot of great kills. That'd be interesting to see.
My favorite kill is the machete.
No, I don't know. I like all the kills. I just like to watch people get murdered.
Kevin Bacon.
Somebody murdered me.
All right. We'll see you at Camp Crystal Lake next time on
Monster Man.
Monster, Monster Man, Monster, Monster Man.